we have cast ourselves as Milton and Jenna, the lead two characters. Are we completely narcissistic? Was this film just to make us stars of screen and stage?
Yes. No. No.
It so wasn't, was it?
100% not.
100% not.
Well, when we started, I had no idea what the sort of community response was going to be. So we thought, well, maybe we might get a few small roles, but we thought that probably like the sort of core is probably going to have to be some professionals that we bring
We're
in.
thinking of casting and auditioning and everything.
Yes,
so
so
how did we come to the conclusion that it was going to be us?
Well, it was gradual, really, because I think what started to become clear is that we had a lot of people who wanted to act in the group.
The majority, yeah.
And what was strange was that a lot of the characters we had in the group fitted in with the script. In fact, it was going back after a few months of doing the Thursdays.
When we met together with this group.
Revisited the script, and it just really realised going, do you know what? The characters that have been written in the script are the characters in the group, most of them.
Yeah.
It was like
a penny dropping, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like I'd written this script about this group of people before I met this group of people, which was really... And so we're just going, yep, that's so-and-so, yep, that's so-and-so, yep, that's so-and-so. So we kind of... The number of outside actors that we were going to bring in started to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then as the community grew, and the sense of that it being about the group... The whole project has been more about the group than about the finished product.
Yeah, which is very unusual in film.
It sort of started to feel strange, the idea of bringing people who weren't part of our group and sort of tagging them on. And then suddenly it started dawning, thinking, are we going to have to...
But not only are we going to have to, because it became almost... autobiographical of the group. We were leading the Thursday group, getting them ready to be filmmakers, and the character Milton and Jenna in the film are the leaders of the film studio. So it sort of was a light bulb moment. But for me, I was just fighting it. I was just like, I don't want to be in front of the camera. I don't want to. Whether that's middle-aged paranoia, I don't know, but so the whole narcissistic thing is so far from where we are. In fact, I think, God-wise, I feel as though he's had to shout at me. Quite comfortable in the role of director, producer, weren't we? And that's what we've done on short films before. So the idea of them being
in it as well just felt like, that's not going to work. So it was the last thing on our minds, but it sort of seems to fit.
And then last night in our first rehearsal, especially because the two have got to fall in love.
You'll have to work on that.
We wanted that to be, you hear all these awful stories of people, not that love's a bad thing, but marriage breakups when people play opposite each other, romantic roles. And but it was so lovely to hear people like Michael and Sandra and Sue, people last night all sort of saying, we are so right to play those roles because we have to fall in love with one another, we have to be the instigators, and also we've got the time to learn the lines. A lot of these people are juggling jobs in the daytime, so we've actually got more time on our hands as well.
Yes, that is the other factor, is that kind of logistically it's much easier for us to rehearse and do things as and when, because a lot of the filming is going to be sort of spread out. It's going to be on weekends and what have you, so we can kind of do our bits separate to everybody else and then kind of slot them all in together. So it kind of makes sense now, but it didn't make sense before. And as I say, it was the last thing on our minds when we started. We had absolutely no intention of being in this film.
Well, one of the words that we've got is authentic, isn't it? And I feel as though by doing it like this, we are being authentic to the project.
Yeah.
This is what the project is, and that's what it's going to reflect. in the film.